Alright everybody, welcome back to Red Embrace. You might remember when we left off, we had a little bit of an oopsie doodle. so we're gonna un-oopsie doodle. We got the, oh my chest hurts, I'm sorry. We got the bad ending on accident, the frenzy ending. So we're gonna try and get the not so frenzy ending, cause Dominic's my boy. Okay, he's my boy. I can't let him down like that. We read this last time, I think. I'll read it again anyway. I've been kind of charming in his own weird way. A guy this size who doesn't even know how to drink coffee? Hello, Luca. Just then the diner's door suddenly swings open. A blonde girl strides up to the counter, plopping down on one of the bar stools with a loud sigh. Whoops. That is not a girl. Do you see the cleave on that? Business is booming as usual. I've got to go see what he wants. But wait, he was not in here last time when Luca came in. Ooh, it changed. If you need any more coffee or just someone to spill your worries to, let me know, alright? It gets pretty lonely in here sometimes. Yeah. He was like, uh-oh, fuck. At least I don't think he was in here last time. No, he wasn't, because Luca came in asking. He lowers his eyes to stare at the depths of his coffee cup, not offering another word. If you're wondering what the weird cut in dialogue was just then, my youngest son came to ask me a question. I almost feel bad for leaving him, but I can't exactly ignore a customer. Troy would yell at me until he went hoarse. Dude, I want to see that. Hurrying around the counter, I approach the new customer curiously. Hi, miss. He's like, oh. When I look closer, I realize it's actually a blonde guy, not a girl at all. He's so slender and short that he really looked like a girl from behind, but his face is a little too sharp to be a woman's. So, do you usually stare like that at everyone who comes in here? I thought waiters were supposed to be welcoming, not creepy. The first words that come out of his mouth are pretty coarse, even though he's got a high sing-song voice. No, sorry, just a little tired, that's all. What can I get you? Milk, because I'm totally a fucking child. That's what I'm sorry, I would give him so much shit. He purses his lips together scornfully, letting out an annoyed huff. But rather than responding to my question, he turns his head to scan the diner, and his gaze falls on the hoodie-wearing guy in the booth. The blonde stares intently at the other man, who doesn't seem to notice the scrutiny he's getting. What the hell? Is he really just going to sit here and ignore me? Ask if you'd like to order something. Yo. Pay attention, bitch. Well, I don't want to make this awkward situation any worse. Clearing my throat, I place a menu in front of the blonde to get his attention, and he quickly glances back towards me. Sir, would you like to order something? A glass of water, maybe? He looks a little sheepish, but he grabs the menu anyway and starts to sourly flip through it. I just want a soda, any kind. I'm gonna give you these hands, Luca. I need to get a bad taste out of my mouth. What, from trying to smoke pot with your friends? I want to dryly ask, but I should probably have a little self-restraint. I mean, he is being a little, you know. I grab a nearby cup and head over to the soda fountain, filling it with some sugary, yellowish-green drink that probably suits the taste of a kid like him. It's too bad he doesn't have a nicer personality to match his cute face. I bet he never wears anything other than that annoying pout. Probably true. Luke is a little fucking dickhead. After I slide the cup and a straw in front of the blonde, he tosses a couple dollar bills on the counter. Hey, is it always so dead in here? I don't usually come to places like this, but how do you stay open if there's no business? Shouldn't you be bankrupt? Shouldn't you be in school? His bratty question is one I've heard a lot before, so it doesn't exactly catch me off guard. We're open during the day, too. Most people tend to come here when it's not, 2 a.m. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Fucking little bitch. Isn't it boring when nobody comes in, though? I mean, yeah, it's like quiet and shit. He sounds so innocent and curious that my irritation melts away a little bit. It's pretty damn boring. Most of our clientele at this hour are just a few folks who are high, drunk, or both. They don't make for great conversation partners, let me tell you. Ha. The blonde snickers, pulling his straw out of its wrapper and shoving it into his glass. He sips a bit of the soda, then idly swirls the straw around with one finger, propping his chin up on his hand. His eyes are a lively, sparkling green, and they watch me with interest. How about any weird types? No. Weird types? You'll have to be more specific than that. Rolling his eyes, he pauses for a moment as if he's thinking over his words more carefully. Like people who don't really fit in? Don't order food or anything like that, just kind of lurk around, act shady, that type? No, I don't know what you're talking about. This guy is totally normal. At the blonde's description, I find my gaze shifting towards the hoodie-wearing man in the corner. He's looking my way too, and our eyes suddenly meet. Well, he definitely matches the type this kid is talking about, but there's no reason for me to say that. Besides, it's not as if we usually get customers like him. In fact, it's the first time I've ever seen someone who didn't know how to drink coffee. No, I can't say I've seen anyone like that come in here. Maybe they hang out in the seedier parts of town, if you can get seedier than this area, that is. Like, like outside. Leave. It might be my imagination, but at my response, I feel like the man in the booth just relaxed a tiny bit. Oh, maybe he was here last time. I can't remember if he was in here last time when Luca came in, or if he was already gone. Or if he left in between. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Really? I guess so. The blonde looks a little displeased, and he chews on the tip of his straw absentmindedly. Hey, we don't eat plastic in here, Luca. Why do you ask? Are you looking for members of a gang or something? You could say that. He hesitates before replying, shifting in his seat. Don't tell me you're trying to join up with a band of thugs. Kids like you shouldn't fall in with the wrong crowd. My playful remark makes the blonde abruptly straighten his posture, his face screwing up like an angry chipmunk. Who are you calling a kid? I'm 22. Do I have to show you my ID or something? Wow, I must have really hit a nerve. In my defense, he definitely doesn't look 22. I would have guessed 17 or 18, especially considering the way he acts. Sorry. It's just because you're so full of energy, that's all. I get mistaken for a high schooler sometimes, so I feel your pain. Like a porcupine retracting its quills, the blonde stops bristling, although he still wrinkles his nose at me. Close call. Anyway, I'm not trying to join a gang. Yeah, you wouldn't last like 2 seconds, catboy. I'm just looking for some certain people, that's all. I figured they might hang out around a place like this since it's pretty seedy looking. No offense. He smirks at me, tapping a fingernail against the side of his glass. I'm like, bitch, it's kind of hard to argue with that, sadly. This isn't the worst part of town, but it's definitely not the best, and the diner could really use some repainting. Hey, why don't you do me a favor? Keep an eye out for anyone like what I described, and if you find someone, give me a call. Pulling a pen out of his pocket, he grabs a nearby napkin and scribbles something down on it. When he shoves it over towards me, I recognize the writing as a name and a phone number. Luca, huh? You really want me to call you if I see any random shady customers? You got it. It doesn't seem like you have anything better to do with your time, so why don't you help me out? Just headbutt him. And what are you offering in return? I raise one eyebrow at Luca, who watches me smugly. You're going to offer something to sweeten the deal, right? There's no reason for me to bother helping you otherwise. Offer something? Like what? Money? He purses his lips together doubtfully, but I shake my head, unable to contain a smirk. I don't know. Maybe you could let me stare at you for a while without getting mad. How's that sound? Luca's cheeks turn a bright pink, letting me know my teasing was successful. What kind of creepy thing are you trying to... You know what? I'm taking back my number. He tries to snatch the napkin away from me, but I hold it out of his reach, snickering to myself. It's actually pretty fun seeing him get all flustered, especially after he tries to act so confident and cool. Listen, I'll help you out, alright? Lighten up a little. If you don't want to, just say so. No need to be such a jerk about it. He mumbles under his breath sourly, crumpling the wrapper of his straw in one hand. Really, I don't mind. You were the one who said I didn't have anything better to do with my time, remember? Yeah, you were rude first. When I give Luca a reassuring wink, he flicks his eyes away and scowls, obviously embarrassed. Then he takes a last sip of his drink before hopping off the bar stool. Because he's tiny, so he has to do the hippity hop. I'd better not get any weird calls from you. I'll block you the second you start saying gross crap to me. Luca shouts over his shoulder on his way to the door. Whatever, Luca. Chuckling, I wave a dish towel at him casually, watching him disappear into the thick of the night. Silly kid. Tricks for adults. Who knows what kind of trouble he's trying to work his way into? I feel like I made that joke last time. I hope he gets home safely, though. He really looks like a perfect target for muggers or some of the more unsavory types who hang around these parts. Maybe I should have offered to get him a taxi. Oh well, if he gets mugged, his problem. When I'm left alone with my thoughts, I suddenly remember the man in the hoodie. He's gone. But when I glance over to where he was sitting at the booth, no one's there. He must have snuck out when I was talking to Luca. Damn. Okay, so he was here last time. I think I remember that. I'm sorry that my brain is just like somewhere else. A little disappointed, I returned to his booth to take his coffee cup, but I noticed something lying on the table. A $10 bill and a bunch of change just for a cup of coffee? That's pretty generous. Now I feel terrible for doubting if he was going to tip or not. It looks like he just dumped everything in his wallet onto the table. He drank every last drop of the coffee, though. I'm not sure why, but knowing that he liked it so much makes me kind of happy. What a weird night. Shaking my head, I pocket the tip and head back to the kitchen with a puzzled smile. The rest of my shift passes uneventfully. People trickle in and out for a couple more hours, but no one else unusual shows up. There we go. Finally, I wave goodbye to Troy and step outside, letting out a long yawn. Time to walk home. Man, I'm tired. Same spot tomorrow? Of course. Don't you trust me? No. Sasuke's like, oh great, drug deal. Bits and pieces of conversation float from a nearby alleyway. Yeah, make sure you bring all the stuff. My curiosity immediately spikes. Okay, we're going to just fast forward a little bit, I think, because I can and I want to. Oh, it's Isaac, run away. No, stop. There we go. Keep going. Oh. Okay. I like to know what happens around here. We'll play it now. I shouldn't be too confrontational. A man like this could have a lot of nasty tricks up his sleeve. I know I skipped a bunch of stuff, but it's just like Isaac being like, oh, well, someone was spying on our drug dealer, blood dealer, whatever vampire deals we were doing, and now I'm like, bitch, get out of here. Offering a casual shrug, I throw out the vaguest response I can. It's just good to know what's happening around San Fran, right? I don't want to be in the wrong part of town when a bad deal is happening. It's just self-preservation. For whatever reason, my remark makes Isaac break into a smirk, and he tilts his head playfully to one side. Oh, so you're just looking out for number one, hmm? Cute. I would too if I were you. The hint of slyness that creeps into his tone sounds almost like... No, I'm definitely misreading him. Why would a fancy businessman flirt with someone like me? I've got customers and my boss to worry about too. That's why I have to keep an eye on shady types around the diner. Uh-huh, I'm sure. With an unconvinced chuckle, Isaac saunters towards me, stopping only when he enters too close territory. I want to pull back, but I manage to swallow my nervousness and stay in place. He's probably just a businessman, but there's something about him that's different, unnerving. Isaac bends down to peer into my face, close enough for me to see every detail of my reflection in his glasses. There's a sweet smell around him, some kind of cologne or shampoo, and it blocks out the stench from the dumpster nearby. Tell me, what's your name? I'm Isaac, as you probably heard from the scary skinhead back there. He drops his voice to a whisper, and his gaze sparkles at me expectantly. I'm Sasuke. I don't talk to many guys in suits, so sorry in advance if I trip over my tongue. No need to worry. I'm used to making people starstruck during first meetings. But listen, Sasuke, if you'd like a little piece of advice, you should stay away from this place tomorrow night. I'm not saying you'll get hurt, but there might be some friendly conflicts going on. He seems oddly thrilled by the prospect of conflicts, and a gleeful light shines in his eyes. Of course, if you're looking for excitement, then I won't stop you from coming by. Who knows? Isaac pauses, his lips curling into a smirk. You might even see a friend of yours there. Or maybe customer is a better word? Sasuke's like, I got a lot of customers, you gotta be more specific. Is it Dominic? Is it him? A shiver courses down my spine at his teasing murmur. He's talking as if he knows something about me, but I've never seen his face before in my life. What are you trying to say? Someone I know is going to be a part of this friendly conflict? Maybe. You can't say for sure unless you show up, am I right? Assuming your self-preservation instincts aren't too strong, that is. Sasuke's like, wanna fight? I know he's trying to provoke me, but that doesn't stop anger from rising up in my chest, even though I try my hardest to stay calm. He probably thinks his money makes him some kind of king. What a class act. I'll come if it's safe. I don't want to risk my neck on a whim, but if you can guarantee I won't end up full of bullet holes. When I trail off hesitantly, Isaac tilts his head to one side, biting his lower lip slyly. I wasn't promising you'd be safe. In fact, a cute guy like you would be instantly pounced on by the bad guys who'll be there. Bad types? Like who? My pulse starts to race faster as I question Isaac, who only throws me an evasive shrug. Some people who walk the streets this time of night aren't always friendly, Sasuke. His eyes flick away from me for a moment, and a sudden cold, dangerous edge enters his voice. There are lots of predators out there, stalkers who just love to have a taste of someone like you. When his gaze returns to mine, a chill runs through my whole body. Isaac reaches out towards my face, tracing the back of his hand lightly across my cheek, all while a cruel smile crawls over his lips. And if you're not careful, you might end up with a bite taken out of you, caught in the jaws of a hungry wolf. His whisper drops so low that his words are barely audible, and I have to lean in a little to catch them. You'd be safer if you stuck with me, your valiant Van Helsing, although my prices aren't cheap. Isaac's fingers trace along my neck, all the way to my lips where he teases one digit around the corner of my mouth. No thanks. Police? I can't look away from his hypnotic golden eyes, which swirl in a way that makes my mind feel like it's melting. My body refuses to move. Even as Isaac presses closer, I can't do anything but hold my breath, staring up into that beautiful gaze. Isaac! Isaac, what are you doing? It's Dominic. When a cry rings through the air, Isaac abruptly pulls away from me, throwing a glance over his shoulder. Hurry up, we need to get going. The voice calls out again, sounding oddly familiar, but it's too dark to see who it belongs to. Or it's Luca, who's like, Isaac! Just running off. Hello. What the hell happened a second ago? I can barely remember what Isaac was just saying. Always with the bad timing. Oh well. Exhaling a reluctant sigh, Isaac turns away, but he pauses to give me a parting Cheshire Cat grin. Make sure you show up tomorrow. I'll make it worth your while. Don't worry. Huh? Wait. And he's gone. By the time I recover my senses, Isaac's already striding off towards a figure in the distance. The two of them disappear around a corner before long, swallowed up by the darkness. My head hurts like hell. I don't know what Isaac did, but I've got some kind of awful migraine now. Maybe it's from his cologne. Alright, I'm gonna save it. That's gonna be it for today. Fucking Isaac. I'm gonna just get right up in your personal space and be like, hey, you want to come with me? It's like, not really. I feel like if I did, you'd probably nom on me for lunch. Not gonna happen. Right? I'm not stupid enough to let that hit me. No thanks. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know that I did. I love you all very, very much, and I will see you next time for some more of this awesomeness by Argent Games. Please go play if you haven't yet, and go try out your Dry Delight, because it is just as deliciously amazing. So go do that. Alright, I love you guys. Bye!